Hey.
Hi.
Say it out loud with me. 11 o'clock.
11 o'clock, like always.
Have fun.
Not too much fun.
In what ways that she stayed the same? Her style is just as eccentric as the first, and she is, her anxiety is still there, and she's still very much lives in her head, and she's like, it's constant like running dialogue in her head. And things that I think are different is that she just kind of harnesses her voice a little bit more, and she is more okay with taking up space, because I feel like in the first movie she was much more quiet and kind of drawn into herself, and I think in the sequel she just takes up a little bit more space, and she's just growing as a young woman, and it's exciting to see.
I feel like Peter's pretty similar throughout the first and the second. He makes similar mistakes in the second. I think his arc is more so understanding the gravity and the realness that comes with a relationship, that you must sometimes break someone's heart. That relationships are not always just fun and games and perfect and oh so great. Like, they're hard. You gotta work at them. You gotta communicate. You gotta go through rough patches.
Listen, he is the perfect John Ambrose. We read with so many people, and all shapes and sizes and colors, and I talk about this all the time. When I read with Noah, when we chemistry read in the first movie, I knew, as soon as I read with him, I knew, that's Peter Kavinsky. This is the connection that I know, that's him without a doubt. I had that same feeling when I read with Jordan, and I didn't have that, he was the only person I felt that with. He is just so charismatic, and he said in the chemistry, I just want to give John Ambrose a hug. And I was like, and that was even before he read, and I was like, that's it. That's who I thought John Ambrose was, is someone that I just wanted to give a hug and to love. And he's just amazing, and he's so kind and charismatic and joyful, and he's just wonderful. And I can't wait for everyone to see him because of his work, because like the moment he comes on screen, you're like, ah! Yeah, so it's awesome.
He is one of the most likable people you'll see, I think, in any rom-com, any film in general. He's kind, he's intentional, great listener, great understander, great mediator, great, he's a very grounding and very settling individual, and I think that that's what makes him likable. I think that's also what kind of comforts you as an audience member whenever he's around, because you know that whatever he says is going to be truth, it's going to be honest, it's going to be real, and he's good at sharing how he feels without stepping on anybody's toes or anything along those lines. And ultimately, he's charming, and I think that there's a lot there for Lary Jean, I think, to grab onto, especially considering the time that they've been friends and the history and the fact that he was her first puppy love, and that was the first letter she wrote. There's a lot for her to take in where he's concerned.
I'm excited for fans to see the extension of the first film. I'm excited because in the first film it was, they were a fake couple falling in love, and in this film they get to be a very real couple. But of course there has to be a little bit of a plot, otherwise nobody would want to watch it. And you get to see them as a real couple being challenged by a very real circumstance, ergo John Ambrose. And for the fans that are diehards of the book series, I'm just so excited for them to be able to see the second installment acting out as a film. I'm sure I've read series and seen series in the book turned into films, and it's very exciting. So I'm just happy to be able to bring something like that to some people.
I'm most excited for fans to see Lary Jean kind of come into her own a little bit more and kind of find her voice and her confidence and grow. That's the most exciting. And then I'm excited for people to see Jordan because I think he's amazing.
I'm excited for fans to be challenged by real life feelings. I think I'm excited for people to watch the film and go, oh, I'm not alone in like maybe feeling the way that she feels about two different people, or oh, I'm not alone in kind of how timing can be the ultimate deciding factor where relationships and goals are concerned. For people to be able to leave the theater, friend's house, airplane with the laptop where they're streaming it, whatever the case may be, for them to be able to finish the film with a smile and know that everything works out the way that it's supposed to is the thing that I love the most about the film. Even though you might romanticize like different outcomes for different people, things kind of and for yourself, things kind of ultimately work out the way that they're supposed to. And I think that Ginny wrote something so honest and so real, and I think that it translates pretty well in the film.
It's like summer camp. Jordan was really good at getting us together. Jordan would like host like game nights, and we would just go over there, play games, and get together and connect, laugh and exchange stories. And it really created a warm and ever-present sense of camaraderie amongst all of us.
The first table read when we were all back together again was like a big sigh of relief because it was all on common ground and we were all together before anything happened. So it felt like coming home. And even though we did 1, 2, and 3 in a fairly short period of time, it's only been like 2 years, I think, like all together. We've all grown so much as individuals, and our characters are also growing as well. So being able to watch each other grow up as our characters are growing up was really, really cool as well.
Lana's amazing. I mean, she is Lary Jean in a lot of ways, and so kind and fun, and so easy to get along with, and so easy to work with. And she's just a pro, And Noah and I have been friends for years, but we had never worked together until all the boys. So that was a blast. Ross and I did Teenage Movie 2 together years ago on Disney Channel, and so to be able to come back together now, totally grown, and having done a bunch of different things in between, was a lot of fun. I mean, the cast is full of very talented people, but ultimately the culture of the set is so wonderful because everyone's just so kind. It's such a beautiful, loving environment.
I think what makes it so appealing is it's kind of like drinking like a warm cup of chicken noodle soup on a rainy day. Like, it's just a comforting, relatable, the world that we've built looks and represents the world and the way that it looks out in the real world, which is awesome. So I think that, people can see, they believe it more because it just looks, it's colorful and beautiful, just like our world. And I think that there's a softness, goes back to the chicken noodle soup and that comfort. There's a softness to the movie that is like palpable, and when you watch it, you can't help to have your heart like melt a little. And it's easy to have a cold, hard heart today. And so like to have that kind of melt a little, I felt that, and I hope other people felt that, but people didn't realize they needed to giggle. Like, when do we giggle in real life a lot, like on our day-to-day? You do that in the movie, and you kind of like feel like you had a warm cup of soup. So yeah, I think it's soft and it breaks people down a little bit.
Hopefully that you can form a concrete belief and then have that belief taken away or destroyed somehow, and it be for the better.
I hope that they take away that whatever you choose to do with your body at whatever time and with whomever, that's your choice. I hope they take that away. And I hope they also take away I hope they. I know that they'll love the love triangle. I hope that they. I hope that they laugh a ton at Kitty because I think she's so funny. I know they will. No, I hate this question. I'm very happy. I want to say I'm team Lary Jean. That's my answer.
Man, I'm team Peter for now, but I'm team John Ambrose for the end game.
Well, I mean, I think that, both. I'd say Jordan is probably more team Peter. I think John Ambrose is endgame, and I think that they're in high school, and you know, he is like the marrying type. I didn't date a ton, you know, when I was in high school, college. I was working a lot and very focused on my career, but I knew what I wanted. I knew how I wanted to kind of do things, and I also ultimately knew the kind of person that I wanted to end up with, and was not down to settle. And you know, marriage and family and that kind of thing, that's my priority in my life. And getting married in the summer to my best friend of 13 years, and timing is like, that's the thing. Like, my John Ambrose is my real life, like my real life story. How we were friends when we were kids, and we grew up and we dated other people, and then like reconnected, and we're like, whoa, hey, maybe we should get dinner. And you know, now we're about to spend the rest of our lives together. I think that John Ambrose is like the marrying type, you know, but I think that the unadulterated, just like honest connection and chemistry between Lary Jean and Petera Kavinsky is just so sweet to me. And I love seeing that explored, especially by Noah and Lana, who are so great together.
I thought I wanted happily ever after. But we're still at the beginning.
Nobody compares to you.